Well, scientists with the Field Museum have just returned from their month-long expedition in one of the world's most remote forests. This is Guyana's rainforest, located in the northern reaches of the Amazon in South America. It's known for its massive biodiversity of plants and animals, and very few people have stepped foot in that area. But two of those Field Museum scientists join us now, and they might still have jet lag. You only returned 48 hours ago, I know. Joining me are environmental social scientist Dr. Elliot Oakley. Hi, Elliot. And conservation ecologist Dr. Leslie D'Souza. Thanks so much for being here and for your time, especially considering you just got back 2 days ago, right?
Thanks for having us. We're happy to be here.
So tell me about this expedition. I know you were there for a month. What was its purpose?
So the purpose of this expedition, because it's one of the most remote areas, it has some of the largest intact forests on the globe. And so as conservation biologists, we want to go to places where we can have the biggest impact. There's very little known about this area, and so our team went there to assess what's there, but also to give this information to decision makers in Guyana so that they can take quick action to protect this landscape.
What did you guys have to do? Maybe I'll address, Elliot. What did you have to do to prepare for this? I can't imagine you spent the majority of your adult life in jungles.
I mean, this process takes, we call it a rapid inventory, but it's anything but rapid in the buildup. Leslie and I both have done research before joining the Field Museum in Guyana, and so we had a sense of what's special about the country.
Yeah.
And through the kind of process of working over 2 years really with government partners, with local stakeholders, we're able to then have a consolidated month-long expedition to get so much done in the field.
We're looking at some pictures from that expedition. I mean, it just looks lush, beautiful, but it has to be really wild too. I mean, literally wild.
Oh, incredibly wild. I mean, anything that you can imagine in terms of some of the biodiversity that are, charismatic, like jaguars and tapirs, some of the largest piranhas I've ever seen in my life, some of the largest peacock bass. We saw all of the kind of large-bodied mammals that you would expect, like all the monkeys that are in Guyana. I mean, it just on and on and on, and there's still more to do. We do rapid inventory so that we can get a quick sense of this landscape, but there's more to learn, and it was just quite remarkable.
The one question I want to ask before we have to say goodbye is, I know the expedition was purposely in partnership with the indigenous peoples in Guyana. So you kind of touched on it, but how did that specifically influence this expedition in your work?
It's fundamental to the approach we take, and really those are the experts in this landscape. It's our privilege to be there for 3 weeks, but we had the honor of working alongside people who have known these forests for generations and who shared their knowledge of the biodiversity, but also possess the capacities to really ensure the safeguarding of this landscape into the future. They're essential partners in the research, but also in the implementation of the action that we hope comes out of this.
All right, yeah, and it's all about protect, 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 right, and conserve.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say is that we have potentially 22 new species to science.
Wow.
So we, in this time, we recorded over 710 vertebrate species, over 400 species of plants, 22 potentially new species to science, new records for the country. So in that short time, I mean, it's short, it's a month, but it's a short time to record that much biodiversity. It's quite remarkable.
That is amazing. All right. Dr. Elliot Oakley and Dr. Leslie D'Souza with Field Museum, thank you so much for being here to share that. And if you would like to meet these wonderful scientists and ask your own question, you can actually do so today at the Field Museum's Meet a Scientist event at the Granger Science Hub. That's between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. So you might want to get out there and do so.